Hello there, everypony. Winged T Spears here, and welcome, and thrice welcome to my Q&A video. Wow, never thought I'd get to say that. So yes, the time has finally come to answer the questions that have been posed to me. I just want to give a big thank you to every pony whom submitted questions, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, first question is about my announcement video, and it comes from Donovan Cunningham, and it says, could you translate the first part, please? Okay, at the start of the video, the Japanese bit said, greetings and salutations, every pony. My name is Winged T Spears. I'm a fanfiction reader and part-time Grim Reaper. So yeah, that's what it said. Also, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your favourite colour of the alphabet? Why or why not? And be descriptive. Golly. God, that's a hard one. So many letters in the alphabet to choose from, an infinite amount of colours. I'm going to need some time to think on this. Okay, I've made my decision. I would go for 10 out of 10 on Blue X. Why did I pick X, you ask? Because X is the letter of mystery. It's an ancient and mystic letter wrapped within the mysterious mysteries of ancient mysticism. Because you've got the X-Files, the X-Factor, the X in equations, which could be any number that you have to work out. You've got X-rated movies. You've got the X that brings people together in shippings. You've got Luna and Twilight. You've got Sword Dash. It's a letter of infinite possibilities. And I go for the colour blue because it's my favourite colour. So yeah, I hope that answered the question. Dr. Renegade asks, what made you start watching MLP? Okay, what made me start watching MLP took place more than a year ago now, in August, during a conversation with two of my friends. Now, one of my friends, how do I put this? Okay, he's a goth. He likes dark things, dark music. So he's not the kind of person that I would normally associate with light-hearted things, or even anything that's, well, light-coloured. So we were talking about cartoons that we used to watch when we were young, like on Cartoon Network and Boomerang, like Tom and Jerry, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Ed, Edd and Eddy. And then I asked him, do you still watch any of them today? And he replied, no, I just watch My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. that I remember that really took me off guard. That was like the last thing I would ever expect to hear from him. So, in my surprise, I just feigned ignorance and asked what it was. And then he told me about the reboots in 2010, of how brilliant it was. I already knew what the show was, thanks to a YouTube parody I watched a couple of months prior. And I think I liked it then, because I don't know what it was, it just had a strange, pretty charm to it, despite the fact it was edited to be funny. And then my other friend chipped in, and she told me about how brilliant Luna was, and that's why she's my favourite princess. And they both kind of forced me to watch it. So when I got home, I sat down, just watched a random episode because I didn't bother watching the pilot episodes because I wanted to see how good it was a couple of series down the line. And the episode I watched was Wonderbolt's Academy. And yeah, I remember falling in love with all these adult-aimed jokes and all the cheeky references. And yep, that's when it began. All from a conversation that could have easily gone down another road, but yes, that's how I started watching MLP, and I've never looked back since. Like the great Ace Carr once said, once you go flank, you can never go back. Justin Brown asks, which female pony would you want to be in a relationship with, and would you want them to be just a pony or an anthropomorphic pony? Okay, this question I can easily answer. The pony that I would want to be in a relationship with would be Rainbow Dash, Hooves Down, because she's obviously my favourite pony, and I think she's the coolest character, and she's been responsible for most of the things that have happened to the main six in bringing them together, and strengthening their bonds. Not to mention she's the most popular. Even outside of the fandom, people have always heard of the rainbow one, or some even know her name. And I would rather have her as a normal pony, like in the show. Even though I like Anthro, it just seems a bit weird to be meshing human anatomy together in real life, despite the fact the option that I've picked is arguably even weirder. Oh well, yep. So the pony that I would want to be in a relationship with would be Rainbow Dash, and I would rather she just be a normal pony. He also asks, would you ever read a giant pony clopfic? If you mean giant in terms of length, it really does depend on my schedule, because I don't know how busy I'm going to be at certain times, and if I started work on a really long haul clopfic, I don't know if I could finish it quickly, and it would probably take up months and months of time in which I could be doing a lot of shorter stories. But I do have one that I would want to read, or two in fact. I would want to read either Xenophilia, which is, in my opinion, is one of the best clopfic erotic novels I've ever read, or Angst Much, which is considerably shorter, and that's one I'm seriously considering doing in the near future. So yes, it depends on my schedule, but if I ever got the opportunity to do one completely, then yes, I would. XX Sugarspark XX says, Miss Nightmare Night? No! Question, what made you start doing fanfics? Okay, this is kind of a long story, but I'm going to shorten it so I can explain it quite quickly. Okay, the story begins last year in September when I found my very first MLP fanfic reading by Dr. Cobra. It was An Hour Alone with Rarity. I hadn't originally intended to click on it because I wanted to watch the episode Suited for Success, but I couldn't remember the name of the episode. So I just typed in MLP Rarity and that came up. So I clicked on it, not knowing what the word clopfic meant, because I was so early into my bronyism I didn't know what it meant. Suffice to say, I was shocked, but not appalled, but I was shocked, and I remember turning it off and kind of stopping for a moment, just to consider the side of the fandom that I just discovered. And then 10 minutes later I clicked on it again and watched the whole thing. So I ended up following Cobra's readings all the way up to February, when he sadly resigned. And then everything just stopped. There was no readings to look forward to, so I decided to do my own. I'd been wanting to start my own reading channel since he uploaded his Read If At All Possible reading, but I kept putting it off because I thought I'd never be any good. And then when he left, I thought, what have I got to lose? So after a couple more months of debating, I uploaded my first reading in May. And again, I've never looked back since, considering what's happened in the past 6 months. So yes, Dr. Cobra originally inspired me to do fanfic readings, but it's only when he left that I seriously considered doing it, because I wasn't going to be hearing any more readings from him, so I decided to do my own to fill that time in which I would be listening to his. So yeah, I finally got the chance to try my hand at it, and it turned out really, really well. So thank you all very much. 9mm Mortal asks, how much gay do you have? Personally, I would say none. But the same can't be said for my pony OC. I keep him bisexual just in case I want to ship him with anyone. But for me, no. And another, is your character a fan art or something you made, or is it from anime? I'd like to know the origins. Okay, the character that I use as my YouTube face, as well as introducing my readings, is from an anime called Black Butler. His name is William T. Spears. He's a side character in the anime, he's a Grim Reaper that normally spends his time rounding up souls of the dying, as well as catching Grell Sutcliffe when he goes AWOL and chases after Sebastian. But obviously my channel isn't called William T. Spears. The reason for that being is that there are thousands of other accounts that have exactly the same name. So as to kind of narrow it down a bit and make it a bit more unique, I combined the first name of my pony OC and William's middle and second name to make Winged T. Spears. So yeah, that's the origins. By the way, any anime you suggest? If you watch, which I highly think you do, I recently got into it and I can't seem to stop. You and me both on Can't Seem to Stop. Okay, well, this really does depend on what you're into, so I'm just going to go through a couple of genres. If you're into sort of animes that take place in the past, I would recommend probably Black Butler, Attack on Titan. That's kind of like a blend of like futuristic versus old. If you're looking for sheer hilarity, watch Queen's Blade. I remember I got through one episode of that before just collapsing into a fit of just, how do I put this? Boob-enabled giggles. There are so much of them. They take up half the screen time. If you're into more thriller or psychological animes, I would recommend the anime Psycho Pass. It's a cross between George Orwell's 1984 and the film Minority Report. But if you're looking into the more supernatural psychological thriller side, I would recommend Ghost Hunt. Another is a fantastic anime. It's quite short, but yeah, it's really, really, really well written. It's also quite gory as well, so unless you're into that or you can take gore, I suggest you give that a miss, because there are a lot of very gruesome death scenes in it. It's kind of like Final Destination, really, in terms of the things that can happen. Also, Higurashi no Naku Koroni, simply because that is a really crazy anime. If you're into sort of like the standard school-type anime with, you know, a character moving into a new village and being introduced to different characters in a short space of time and repeating story arcs, then I suggest you watch that. But be prepared, because it's really, really messed up and you won't have a clue what's going on half the time. There are very subtle messages in it, but unless you pick up on all of them, it's quite hard to follow. But yeah, it's a very gore-filled thrill ride. And it also leaves you second-guessing yourself half the time. If you're into tear-jerkers, I would recommend... I've only got one to recommend, considering it's the only one that I watched, and it was the first anime that I ever watched as well. If you're into tear-jerkers, watch Clannad, and bawl at how sad and beautiful it is. And then if you've got enough tears left in your tear ducts by the end of it, watch the after story. Believe me, it will kill you. It will rip your heart out of your chest, stamp on it, and set it alight for good measure, because the key company just don't believe in happy endings or are even aware that they exist. And the other tearjerker anime I would recommend is probably, even though I haven't seen all of it, is Canon. If you're into the more school side of anime, like the standard, maybe otakuism sort of thing, then go for Watamote. That's a manga series as well, 2 or 3 books in. I personally have only seen the anime. That's quite good, I suppose. So that's all I've got, I think, aside from the sort of standard mainstream anime like Pokemon, which I haven't seen in years, and Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I haven't seen a single episode of. And the last animes that I recommend, if you're into mystery horror, as well as sort of supernatural sort of things, go for the anime Darker Than Black, or the most popular, Hellsing. If you're a fan of vampire animes and really cool weaponry and lots of shooting and kind of boss fights, then go for that one. Believe me, it's quite short, but believe me, it's an amazing anime, and it's probably one of the most popular vampire animes that are around, I think. So yeah, that's a couple of suggestions, but it's really up to you. It's really based on what you're into, so I hope that's helped, and thank you for asking. Foxstyle says, "Oh, trust me, Winged T, you will become popular, exponentially." Thank you. I feel for you on Missing Nightmare Night. And as for my question, what is your favourite genre of fanfiction? My favourite genre of story is probably romance, considering it can provoke so many emotions, and they can range from being really cute to being really, really sad. And my second favourite is grimdark horror. I like kind of paranormal, supernatural sort of horror. I'm not really that big a fan of zombie stories, but I like vampony stories as well. And whose voice do you enjoy imitating the most? The voice that I enjoy imitating the most is Rainbow Dash.
Simply because she's my... she's kind of the one that I like doing off the cuff all the time. Not to mention I really, really like the way she talks, and she can be really cute at times as well.
Also, off the cuff, she's probably my best impression, and I don't have to do much vocal training to get into her. No pun intended. The second voice that I like imitating the most is probably either Octavia and Rarity, because they're relatively the same, I suppose, and Coco Pamel. But yes, my absolute favourite is Rainbow Dash. Sexy Xenomorph asks, how active are you in the Brony community? I.e., do you attend conventions in real life, meet up, or have contact with other readers and names and faces, or are you soloing it? Well, in the Brony community, I suppose I am quite active in what I do, I suppose, but in real life, I'm quite restricted as to what I can do, because, well, in the future, I would really, really love to go to BronyCon in Baltimore, but I don't have enough money to even consider going. I don't even have enough money to get to my own country's Brony convention. I've been to MCM Expo a couple of times, but I've just said hi to a couple of bronies that I've come across there. I haven't really arranged any proper meetups. In terms of contact with other readers, I've spoken to a few on YouTube, but not in real life. So yeah, I'm kind of soloing it really, and the same goes for my friends as well, because my other friend just draws. He draws pony fan art. So, yeah, I'm kind of, apart from him, I'm sort of on my own. But I have all of you, so I guess I'm not that alone after all. Also cover what your status is and how open you are about it in different places. I am a really open brony, I suppose. I wear the t-shirts, I do these, I'm not all secretive. I suppose in public, I wear my t-shirts when I can. I mean, I remember before I got into all this, I used to really be conscious about what people thought of me, but let me put it this way. Once you've walked down the street wearing a Rainbow Dash t-shirt that has the caption 20% cooler beneath it, you really aren't going to care about the glances people throw at you in the future, for whatever the reason. I have no regrets. I'm as open about it in public as I am at college, because I have got a couple of stickers on my laptop, and they haven't really attracted any negative attention. They've just attracted curious questions to which I've been more than happy to answer. So yeah, I'm quite open about it in real life. I just wish that I could go to conventions and see more of you guys face to face. But I have all of you guys and girls that are subscribed to me, so that's good enough for me. Love your work and you deserve much more attention. Thank you very much. WolfX1120 asks, 1. Why don't you have more subs? I don't know. Really, that's up to the viewers. I mean, if they like my work, they can subscribe for more. If they just want to view them, that's fine. And if they don't like my readings, then that's okay too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's up to the viewers, really. 2. Do you like me? Of course I do. 2.5. Why? Well, in my experience, people who say they dislike wolves tend to get eaten. So I don't know about the rest of you, but yeah, that's my reason. 3. Why do you all do Q&As? Because I don't know how else I can say this. it's kind of become like a thing, really, and I've seen Brad the Browncoat Brony do it, I've seen Dashing Knight do it, I've seen Dr. Cobra do it, so I don't know, my reason is that I wanted to do one as well like them. But yeah, I don't know the reasons for the others that have done it, but my reason is that I wanted to do one as well. 4, 3 question marks. The only thing I can say is / right bracket. 5, dogs or cats? Well, no offence to the cats that I currently own, but considering I've owned 3 Great Danes in my life, I would say dogs. And also I think if I said cats, I probably would be getting mauled by a wolf by now. 6, is this enough questions? Well, if you've asked all you want to ask, then yes, that's plenty. Thank you very much for asking them. Hope you like. Brohoof. Thank you very much. Brohoof right back at ya. Navi Skyhunter says, awesome read on your last vid. I read this human Rainbow Dash clop on FimFiction and thought it was pretty good. Since you have the best Rainbow Dash voice on YouTube, I'd be cool to hear you bring this story to life. You always put a lot of effort into your videos and it shows. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you very much. I'm slightly speechless by that. That's a really nice thing to say. Thank you. And in regards to the story, when it's complete, I will read it. Oh, I forgot to mention, here are some Rainbow Dash romance stories I wrote a few weeks ago if you're interested. Thank you very much. I will check them out and I'll see what I can do. Mr. Gamester99 asks, how flexible is your schedule? Okay. My schedule is determined by how much free time I have, because it varies rapidly. Sometimes I have busy days and sometimes I have clear days, even weeks. I have a multi-parter lined up for the near future, so when I have enough free time I will start work on it. So yeah, my schedule's really determined on how much free time I have, and I can't really give a more definitive answer considering I just don't know my schedule. Demonic Dubstep Pony asks, can you do a face reveal soon, please? Okay, I've really got some explaining to do. I wasn't planning to do this Q&A merely just on audio. I was planning to do it on camera, but I decided to just do like a face reveal for this very question, but I couldn't even do that because my webcam, for some reason, doesn't record sound. And apparently I need to update the sound drivers in order to get it working, and I tried doing that following a guide and I nearly destroyed my laptop from the inside out. I don't know what I did, but I kind of I think I might have messed up the operating system a little bit, but luckily the person that was working on it with me at the time managed to fix it, and we kind of left it at that. So the moment I guess I will do a face reveal sometime in the future, but until I get this fixed, I won't be able to do it as quickly as I would have thought. So yeah, I definitely will do one, but for now I won't be able to. So yeah, I'm really, really sorry. I hope you're still my biggest fan. Aidan Banks asks, what is your favourite fic you read? Well, God, that's actually quite difficult because I've enjoyed doing all my stories and they're all very special to me, but I have 3 contenders, I think. One is An Angel of Generosity because I got to do Coco Pamel for the first time. God knows how I even managed to get her to sound even remotely female given her voice. My second contender is the fic Bad Language, simply because I got to do quite a huge number of voices and a drunk Octavia and Bonbon. That was priceless to do. And my last contender is A Late Night, for quite a few reasons. One, when I first read that story, I promised myself that if I ever set up a reading channel, that would be one of the stories that I read. And I was surprised to learn that I'm the only reader who's uploaded a proper reading of it, to my knowledge. There was a Reactum read that I found, but yeah, that's the only one I found. So, if I had to pick an absolute favourite, I would probably go with A Late Night, because it was a fic that I'd always dreamed of reading, and now I have. I'm very glad that I did. So the favourite fic that I've read is A Late Night. Lloyd Andino asks, do you like bananas on the moon? Well, I was very nearly sent to the moon by Celestia when she got a bit jealous that Luna got a reading before her. But until I get sent to the moon, I will never know the taste of moon bananas. I'll just have to stick with the boring old Earth ones. Matt Maverick says, I love your readings and great job on reaching 408 subs. Thank you very much. It's things like that, along with your questions, likes, subs and comments, that just really make me want to keep doing this, so thank you very much. Thames Mud asks, how do you choose your fics? They are always so good. Well, the fact that they've kind of all received an equal amount of attention, apart from 2 exceptions, I don't really have a kind of specific system to how I choose my stories. I just go on FinFiction, and if I like the look of one, I read it. I think a couple of the stories that I've done have been in the feature box at some point. One of them was in the popular stories box, and obviously A Late Night I found through Cobra's reading of Clip Clop Goes the Rainbow Dash, because the story's by the same author as that one. Lyra and Bon Bon Private Investigators was the first fanfiction that I ever properly sat down and read, and I thought it would be the best one to kickstart my channel with. The same went for Justice by Moonlight as well. I found that in the new stories section. So yeah, my fics are just chosen at random. If I like the look of the picture and the description and the characters in it, then it gets read. My fics are just chosen at random, and it's just by sheer dumb luck that they've all received a good amount of attention. And do you think you will still be doing this in a couple of years' time? Well, I don't really know what the future holds for me in terms of my real life outside of this, but if I had free time and absolutely nothing else to do, I would keep doing these until I couldn't do the voices anymore, but it really does depend on what the future holds for me in terms of my aspirations and where I want to be. But if my schedule remains clear enough that I can work on these, then yes, I will still be doing this in a couple of years' time. I love all of this, just making the videos, even editing, despite the fact it's so repetitive and tedious. The end product has always been worth the work that I've put into it. So, until that love dies, and I really, really hope that it doesn't. I mean, I love doing it now, and I don't think that's ever going to change, so yes, I will be doing this in a couple of years' time, if my schedule and life permits me. So until I say otherwise, yes, I will be. And there we go, everypony. Those are all the questions that have been submitted. I am recording this on... what's the date today? I am recording this on the 1st of October at 5:30. Okay, I've just ended at 5:30. I don't know how long this has been going on for until I've looked at the timestamp. So for anyone whose questions didn't make it into the video at the time of recording, you can go ahead and post them in the comments section of this video. So yeah, that's a wrap. That's my Q&A, everypony. I hope you all enjoyed and got a bit of an insight to my life as a brony and a few other random things and what I do in real life, as well as this. Next time I will be revisiting Cuddling is the Best Remedy, because a new chapter has been added since my reading, despite the fact it was marked complete. But I'm not complaining, more dashy cuddles are on the way, so I hope all your hearts are ready for that, considering the fact they must have probably melted into a puddle of gack afterwards. So, yep, that's it, everypony. I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has subscribed to me. This is a 350 subs Q&A, but now I have 465. So, thank you all so much, everypony. It's things like that that makes doing all this worthwhile. And I love all of you for just making my life as a brony more interesting and enjoyable. So thanks again, everypony. This is Winged T Spears, signing off.